Hi guys, so happy to have you for today's video. I'm Lizzie DeLacy. I am your personal fitness and wellness coach, and I'm also the creator of Body Peace app, which, like this channel, you'll find all things related to fitness, nutrition, health, wellness, supplementation, and more to help you look and feel your best. So the request for today was, how can stress negatively affect us, and what more can we do about it? Don't forget to like and comment on today's video to let me know what you want to see more of. And now let's dive into all things stress. Stress has a negative connotation, especially in today's society, and I actually personally believe that there are instances and times where stress can be very good for our bodies and our psyches, and then there's other times where stress can be not so good. So the not so good stress is that chronic inflammation. And then there's the acute stress. So that's when maybe someone cuts you off in traffic, and for a second you kind of lose your breath and you feel everything pounding, and then things return back to normal. And so that's okay for the body to handle. And in fact, acute stress, like certain types of workouts, adaptogens, and other things like that, actually build up immunity and resistance to that chronic stress. Some of the ailments that you can see from being way too stressed out all the time, for me personally, I've noticed my metabolism and thyroid have slowed way down. Stress can cause poor sleep, which then of course in turn causes more stress. And so sometimes I've suffered from insomnia or from problems with sleep quality and waking up in the middle of the night and then not being able to fall asleep for a couple hours. I'm sure some of you have experienced this as well. And then there's the effect that stress has on our gut. So our microbiome, aka our second brain, is very, very susceptible to stress. That mucosal barrier is then broken down a little bit, and so everything is seen as stress in the body, which then of course just becomes another feedback loop. So here are 4 tips that I recommend for trying to keep those cortisol levels low. I personally try and do these every single morning, but like most of us, I'm human, and so that doesn't always happen. You can always integrate these into your day wherever they make sense. The first thing, and I put it at number 1, is breath work, because that's such a great way to calm down your sympathetic nervous system and then move into the parasympathetic nervous system. So rather than this fight or flight, you're telling the body by engaging the diaphragm and controlling the vagus nerve that it's time to slow down. And the best way to do that with breath work is just to be aware and control your breath. So there are so many different types of breathing techniques out there. I will let you decide what works best for you. When I'm feeling stressed, I like to either do 4 counts on an inhale and then 8 counts on an exhale, or I'll do box breathing, which I did in my meditation video last week if you want to check that out to see what that breath work is like for you. It's 4 counts in, you hold for 4 counts, 4 counts out, and then you hold on the exhale for those 4 counts. And just really any type of breath work and noticing your breath and trying to deepen it and engage the diaphragm and get more into the vagus nerve and diaphragmatic breathing versus like the shallow little tiny breaths that we have just up here in our head because we're not really thinking about it, because let's be honest, our bodies breathe for us. Why would we ever have to think about breathing, right? So breath work number 1, try and include some sort of breath work into your routine. I'm gonna go over my morning and nighttime routines on a separate video, but if you don't have time in the morning, if you are rushing right out the door, that's fine. The next time you're starting to feel stress, think about your breath. Even just 10 seconds of being aware of your breath and deepening it is going to get you so much further along in lowering some of the cortisol and the adrenaline production than anything else. So that's why that's my number 1 tip, breath work. So number 2 is gentle movement. And I get it, we have to sit for our jobs, we have to sit in the car or in our commutes, and I sit a lot during the day as well. However, when you can incorporate gentle movements throughout your day, that helps move around the lymph system, that also helps you burn through some of your cortisol and your adrenaline in a productive manner. So when we're just sitting there, we can't move that cortisol out through our system. So it's really beneficial to take breaks throughout your day and to try and get some gentle movement in it. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be intense. I personally do a morning stretch every day as soon as I hop out of bed after I drink my 30 ounces of water or so, because I'm telling my body, okay, it's time to wake up, it's time to reset. And so you're aligning your body and your mind and your breath all at the same time. So the next time you're starting to feel really stressed, if you're not in the car, of course, see if you can just go for a walk around the block, maybe just get up, walk up and down the stairs a couple times, move your body and try and burn through some of that cortisol, and also just reset yourself, because when you're moving, hopefully you're not focusing on what that thing is stressing you out. You're more so focusing on what's right in front of you, whether that's your yoga mat or, again, nature outside. So number 2, try and incorporate some gentle movement into your day. Number 3, super easy, expressing gratitude. I like to do a little bit of everything, and I like to start my day and I like to end my day with gratitude. But my mom always said, when there was something stressing me out and I was upset by it, she said, what can you find in this moment to be grateful? And it's a good reminder, because it's also, again, re-engaging your parasympathetic nervous system. It's calming you down a bit, and it's taking your mind off of what was stressing you out in the first place. So yes, things are really crazy right now. A lot of lives have not returned back to normal. There's still change that needs to be made. But what can you find in this moment, even if it's just your breath, to be grateful for? And then the last tip is time sensitive. I recommend, to lower your stress levels throughout the day in general, to not check your phone or to watch the news within the first 30 minutes of waking up. And here's why. I'm not saying don't be on your phone, I'm not saying don't check the news, but not within the first 30 minutes of waking up. As we sleep, our brains go through different waves, and so when we wake up, we're still in the theta wave, slowly coming back to the present. And that's when our minds are the most malleable and you actually gain the most information. So for me personally, the first 30 minutes of my day, I don't check my phone, I don't turn on the TV or look at anything. I am either listening to a podcast, I'm listening to an audiobook, I'm using that theta brainwave state to build myself up and do something that's going to positively impact me, and then also allow me to positively impact others. And I think that's really huge. And so if the first thing you're consuming when you wake up is a very stressful Apple News article or something from CNN, well then that's already gonna get your cortisol levels spiked for the day, and it's gonna be hard to bring that down. But more importantly, emotionally and mentally, that's what the focus is, and that's where, where your thoughts go, your energy flows. And so if that's what you're thinking first thing in the morning, that can set you up for a higher stress day overall. So give yourself some time. The good news is you now have 3 things to be doing during that first half hour instead of checking your phone or the news. So you can implement those. You can do anything else. You can read. That's a great time to go for a walk. That's a great time to be outside in nature, especially in Houston before it gets to be 1,000,000 degrees in June. All that I ask, maybe think about putting the phone and the news off to the side and checking in with those a little bit later once your brainwaves have settled down a bit. So those are the 4 things I recommend for trying to mitigate stress. Of course, there are so many others. I think I'll do a video at some point in the future about adaptogenic herbs, because that's something I'm really passionate about. Every single morning when I have coffee or tea, I make some sort of adaptogen elixir to go in with them to help balance my adrenals. But again, different video, different day. Thank you so much for watching. Please learn more about managing your stress in a way that works for you. There's therapy, there's adaptogen lattes, there's talking with a friend, there's volunteering, there's so many different ways. These are the top 4 that I recommend because they're really simple to implement into your day. If you have any questions or comments about this video, you know what to do. Please go ahead and comment below. And if you haven't already and you like my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll be uploading a new video every single Monday for you guys, helping you live and look your absolute best through wellness, fitness, and nutrition. Thank you so much for joining me today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys next week.